On today's episode of Max Kelly's Vegan Cooking Show, we're going to be making pad kee mao, better known in the US as Drunken Noodles. Okay, so to start, we're going to preheat our oven to 450 degrees, using the convection setting if you have one. Next, we're going to cut a block of super firm tofu into half-inch cubes and prepare a quick marinade. In a medium bowl, we're going to mix together a tablespoon of cornstarch, a tablespoon of cooking wine, a half teaspoon of concentrated vegan chicken stock, and a teaspoon of soy sauce. Give that a stir, then add your tofu and toss to coat it. Then add about a tablespoon and a half of neutral tasting oil, give everything another toss, and transfer your tofu to a parchment-lined baking sheet, making sure to leave a little room between each piece. Bake for 25 to 30 minutes or until nicely browned and crispy. Remove from the oven and set aside. Next, we need to prep our veggies. These are just suggestions. Feel free to use whatever you have on hand. First, we have a medium bunch of Chinese broccoli, American broccoli, or any hearty greens you have available. Just give them a rough chop into half-inch pieces. Next, we have a red bell pepper. Again, you want to chop into small pieces about a half-inch to an inch in length. The goal is to make all the vegetables and tofu roughly the same size. Next, prep 2 large carrots. I'm cutting mine into matchsticks, but coins are fine too. Finally, chop up half a large red onion or 2 to 3 shallots. Next, we have our aromatics, starting with about an inch of fresh ginger, which we're going to finely mince. Next, roughly mince about 3 large cloves of garlic. We also have some fresh Thai basil. You can use holy basil, aka tulsi, and if you can't find either of those, Italian basil will work just fine, although the flavor is different. You want to remove the leaves from the stems and set them aside, but don't chop them, they bruise very easily. Some people discard the stems, but I like to slice them and add them with the Chinese broccoli for a little extra basil flavor. Finally, we have 3 fresh Thai bird's eye chilies, and you really want to wear gloves for this step. Slice 2 of the chilies in half and gently scrape out some of the seeds, then fully de-seed the third chili and give it a mince. Feel free to use fewer or more chilies depending on your heat tolerance, and substitute dried bird's eye chilies or dried chilies of any kind if you can't find the fresh ones. Next, we're going to make our sauce. To a small bowl, add a tablespoon of soy sauce, a tablespoon of toasted sesame oil, and a tablespoon of vegan mushroom oyster sauce. If you haven't had this stuff, do yourself a favor and order a bottle. Next, add a tablespoon of agave or sugar, a teaspoon of dark soy sauce, and a tablespoon of cooking wine. Finally, we have about a teaspoon of ground white pepper. Give that all a good stir and set aside for later. Next, we're preparing some rice noodles according to the package directions. I'm using medium width rice noodles, about the same width as fettuccine here, but wider chow fun style noodles are more traditional if you can get them. Once they're fully cooked, drain and rinse them and toss them with a little oil to keep them from sticking together. Now it's time to bring everything together. Heat a large wok over high heat until it's just starting to smoke, then add about a tablespoon of oil and quickly swirl it around to coat the wok. Add your onions and stir fry for about 2 minutes or until translucent and just starting to brown. If you notice your wok getting dry, feel free to add a little bit of extra oil to keep things from sticking. Now add your ginger, garlic, and whole slit chilies and cook for about a minute or until the raw ginger and garlic smell is gone. Next, add your peppers, saute for about a minute, then add your carrots, Chinese broccoli, basil stems, and the finely chopped chili. Stir fry for another couple of minutes until all the vegetables are cooked through, but still bright and slightly crunchy. Add your noodles and sauce, quickly tossing to combine everything and to keep the noodles from sticking to the wok. Add your basil leaves, give everything another toss, then shut off the heat and add your tofu. Give everything one last stir, plate up your drunken noodles, and enjoy. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. Consider subscribing to the channel and let me know in the comments section if you have any questions or you'd like to see any other specific recipes in the future.